What's going on, MetaFam? I wanted to come out and do a video. I know this happened like 2 days ago or so, but wanted to give my video presentation on it and then give my thoughts and opinions at the end of this. So first, Metamaterial News here has out, just in, Jim Farzio replaces George Palikaras as new CEO of Metamaterials. And my initial response was speechless. Definitely need the details before any judgment can be made. Now, this was done on the 16th. The 17th, Metamaterials comes out with the official press release. And here it says Metamaterials appoints seasoned executive Jim Farzio as new CEO to drive the next stage of growth. And we're going to get into this press release they posted here on October 17th. And at the end of this, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions. So if you already went through this, I'm going to cover it. And at the end of it, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions and what maybe can happen. Well, it's just my speculation, thoughts, and opinions of this. So let's go through it here. Let me deactivate the camera so we can zoom in on this. All right. Here it says, today announced the board of directors has appointed Mr. Jim Farzio as chief executive officer, effective immediately. George Palikaras has been removed as president and CEO and is no longer with the company. Mr. Farzio is a business leader with 35 years of experience in solar, semiconductor, advanced materials, and aerospace. He brings significant experience and success leading large change management initiatives and developing and implementing strategies to transform business and to drive value. On behalf of the board of directors, it is my pleasure to welcome Jim Farzio as CEO of Metamaterials. He brings a wealth of leadership experience and proven track record of driving high revenue growth. In his new role, Jim will be responsible for overseeing the strategic direction of the company and accelerating its commercial production, said Jack Harding, chair of the Meta board. We are grateful for George's hard work, dedication, and valuable contributions during his tenure. His leadership has been instrumental in laying the foundation, and the board wishes him all the best in his future endeavors. Mr. Farzio has led a number of large-scale global businesses, including serving as CEO of Array Technologies from 2018 to 2022. During his tenure with Array, he led revenue growth and profitability, took the company public in 2020, and the largest solar IPO of that year, raised substantial additional capital, and acquired STI Norland in 2022, making Array a global leader in utility-scale solar trackers. I am honored to join Metamaterials, and I'm excited about the opportunities that lie ahead, said Jim Farzio. Meta's new CEO. Meta has a strong talent, a broad nanotechnology platform, and an impressive IP portfolio. I look forward to building on the foundation and leading the company at this pivotal stage of growth. Prior to joining Metamaterials, Mr. Farzio held leadership positions at Nanostone Water, Avnet, Honeywell, Amcor Technology. He served as CEO on Nanostone Water, and while at Avnet, he was the SVP of IoT business. During his time with Honeywell, he served as president, Advanced Materials, vice president, Honeywell Operating System, and vice president and GM, Mechanical Subsystems. At Amcor, Mr. Farzio was executive vice president, assembly and test business, and served in several other global management roles. Mr. Farzio holds a Master's of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the Polytechnic Institute and a Bachelor in Science in Mechanical Engineering from Arizona State University. All right, so we went over that there. Initial thoughts is still wow, but had a couple days to think about this, and I kind of wanted to get my head clear and let that initial shock, because that's what it was. I was literally speechless. It was the initial shock. I didn't know whether I should be mad, upset. I don't know what the heck was going on, but now I had a couple days to reflect All this process since the 16th, and then the 17th came out this official press release of Palikaras. So I was thinking back, just thinking about this. John Berta was also a part of this, guys, and he separated himself so he was not tied to the business no more, so he could speak his mind and say what he wants and do what he wants. Not saying that George is going to follow the same path as John Berta, but that is a possibility. Maybe George wants to say more. Maybe George wants to do more to the community. And with him exiting the role of metamaterials, maybe he will be able to do that. So that's my first thought. If we start seeing George appear more on Twitter and becoming more interactive with the MetaFam, it could be a similar journey that John Berta did. So that's possibility number one. Possibility number two out there, I believe there was the Wells notice and all this, the investigation stuff going on. So maybe there's something with that. Maybe they don't want to have George tied to the company and this and that. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's the Wells notice. I don't know. Number three, a while back, George made that tweet or that comment while he was the CEO of MetaMaterials. There would be no reverse split. And then I think it was a couple days later, he had to redact that statement and remove that statement. Because I guess that's something you can never promise that you would ever do that. And now the theory is people out there is worrying that George is no longer a part of MetaMaterials. Is a reverse split coming? That is a possibility. It's always been a possibility. That's why, they didn't want George to say that. That's why George had to basically redact that whole statement and say that, you can't guarantee something like that. You never know when the company needs to raise capital and how they may need to raise capital. So that is another theory out there that George might have left because a reverse split. Maybe George don't want to be a part of the company if they have to do a reverse split. And with the new guy, George is not there, so they could do a reverse split. And George is still staying true to himself with saying no reverse split while he's there. So maybe that's part of it. Also, his wife is still a part of MetaMaterials. There was a MetaFam that retweeted out that Nadine Geddes, George's wife, is still part of the board. And also, if you look here recently, though, guys, on like MetaMaterials, just right on their Twitter, guys, not like I said, right on their Twitter. This was the George Palikaras switch here with Jim. Back on the 10th, Meta appoints tech industry veteran Felipe to the board of directors. I mean, look at these here. There's been a lot of stuff here going on of new people. I know it was a while back, not too far back. That was the class favorable ruling in the class action. That was trying to find the one here that we got our. Yeah, here you can see Launch Global Designs welcomes global expert Mark Spencer as new senior vice president. So the company here, if you look back, has been having people join in here. There was the completes that with Greg McCabe. I know there was something back here with the gentleman we did a couple of videos on. Here you can see enlist multi-faced IP and legal expert Dan Eaton as new chief legal officer. Here you can see MetaMaterials signs Alan Newman, world-renowned expert in banknote innovation. So if you just go back here and look over this last 6 months to a year, there's been a lot of new people. Here it was. World-renowned battery expert, Professor Jeff Don. That's right, Jeff Don. We did numerous videos on Jeff Don. This was back on June 12th. So these last, I want to say less than 6 months, there's been a lot of changes to people coming in and getting on the board. So this has been kind of in motion, but I am shocked that George is out. But it's still a little early to say whether it was, actually right below me right now. Look at that, trending. MMTLP fiasco is trending. But anyway, a lot of movement, a lot of shift here in the board, and Jeff Don was a huge, huge asset to MetaMaterials because we had all that speculation with him and Tesla, and maybe there's some kind of deal with Tesla going on. So that's a possibility. Like I said, guys, like I said, that's kind of my initial thoughts. Did George leave so he could maybe speak his mind and do what he wants and say what he wants? Is it a part of the Wells notice going on? Is there something kind of fishy going on with the reverse split deal? I don't know. Did something illegal happen? We don't know what the heck happened, but that is my initial thoughts. If I had to pick which one I'm kind of leaning towards, I'm leaning towards it could be something around the similar thing as the John Berta situation, where John Berta said he wanted to leave the company so that way he could speak his mind and do what he wants and have that freedom and not have to be legally held to be, representative of the company. So maybe George is doing that boat. That's kind of what I'm hoping the reasoning is, because then that means we're going to get more with George and get to have conversations with him, and he can speak his mind and say and do what he wants. So let's pray. That is exactly what's happening. So hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. Love and appreciate every single one of you all. Peace.